Get ready for your family's summer adventure with Curry Honda in Chicopee. Hi, it's Cassie, and we want you to hit the road in the all-new 2026 Honda Passport, built for rugged trails and packed with style. Available in vibrant colors to match your vibe. Or pack everyone up in the new Honda Odyssey, the ultimate family minivan with a spacious interior, rear seat entertainment, and cabin watch to keep your kids in check. Come get your dream ride at Curry Honda in Chicopee on Memorial Drive or online at curryhondamass.com.
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 5:50, and that's Motley Crue and Rock 102.
I don't even care what the weather's going to be like. Let's just get into this Hollywood trash thing because I got to find every story we got to do now because we're blended everywhere, I guess, or something. I don't know.
Boo, effort. That's going to suck.
Well, I mean, how much more can you pile on somebody before you say, oh, we're just going to take away all the tools that you have to think. Oh, that's so great.
I couldn't tell you, Steve. The only thing that I can tell you for sure is Hollywood Trash is brought to you by Western Mass Masons. Call them for all your foundation and chimney needs.
Somehow you still care about what's happening in Hollywood. So from Tinseltown, 3,000 miles away, it's Steve Nagle's Hollywood Trash.
Diddy finally received his sentence. Judge Arun Subramanian has ordered him to serve just over 4 years in federal prison, which that's not too bad.
That's like a slap on the greased-up wrist.
I think that's a slap on something else. The sentence came down Friday. So did Diddy. And it is longer than what Diddy wanted. That's what he said.
That's what everyone said in that place.
Remember, his legal team asked for 14 months, while prosecutors wanted him to serve 11 years. He was given 50 months. Diddy's also required to pay a $500,000 fine, part of which will defray the cost of imprisonment. The judge did not impose restitution. After announcing the sentence, the judge had some words for the strong women who testified about horrific stories. The judge said to Miss Ventura and other brave survivors that came forward, I want to say, we heard you. Heard you so much that we're giving him probably one of the lighter sentences we could give him.
Apart from having him walk out the door.
The sentencing hearing lasted several hours, during which the prosecutors blasted Diddy for scheduling what they called a speaking engagement this Monday in Miami, while his team focused more on character witnesses and the emotional side of Diddy's situation. The defense even played a video of Diddy and his kids in court, not in those rooms that were in his house, but,
no.
Like them playing basketball and stuff. Family.
Them having snacks around the coffee table.
Right. Towards the end of the hearing, Diddy stood up to address the court, and he apologized to his ex, Cassie Ventura. TMZ spoke to Sam Mangle yesterday, a prison consultant who served 20 months at a minimum security facility himself, and he said Diddy's going to be just fine behind bars because MDC Brooklyn is far worse than anywhere else he'll be ever sent to. So where he's staying now is the worst he could be. He's already spent over a year in jail. He was arrested last September, and he'll get credit for the time served. So now he's only going to be down to 3 years. And then by the time that you have the good behavior thing and his lawyer's appeal and all that stuff, he'll be out in 6 months.
He'll be back to humiliating people in no time.
Yeah. Justice.
Finally.
That's for sure. Did you go see Taylor Swift's new movie?
I did not.
It was actually a video drop.
But you did, right?
Yeah.
And was it just great?
It was fantastic. I couldn't tell you. Watching Taylor Swift and XD make a video.
That had to be fascinating.
Yeah. Well,
on every level.
The official Taylor Swift, the official release of a Showgirl, was indeed front-loaded, declining 36% on Saturday, with $10 million from its pure gross of $15.8 million. The 14-time Grammy winner is seeing a standalone gross in opening weekend for $33 million. That's a lot of money.
She is the only one who has made any money in music at all.
There have been other album launches teed up with movies to prop them. IMAX's 2021 COVID release of Halsey's If I Can't Have Love, I Want Power. That only had a $135,000 opening, but none like Swift's. Can you think of another artist that compares to a box office threshold releasing music like that?
Oh, Other than the Beatles?
Yeah. You know,
No.
My kid had said, I don't know if I like this new album because it's a lot of happy stuff on there. And I said, here's the problem. Back in the 90s, Alanis Morissette had one of the greatest albums of the 1990s, Jagged Little Pill, right?
Yep, right.
It was filled with anger and hate and, I don't like my exes and blah, blah, blah. Probably one of the greatest musical pieces of a rock genre of that decade.
Sure.
And then what happened? Alanis Morissette got happy, and she got married, and she's singing songs about thank you, and it's okay, and
Nobody
everything's
wanted that.
going to be fine. And it's like, nobody wants to see that. They want the angry.
Come on, Alanis. Tell us more about what happened in the theater.
Taylor Swift has a 3-minute and 48-second song about Travis Kelce's penis.
Yeah,
I was
I
gonna
know.
say Jason Kelce's penis, but that.
Listen, what you got is a record full of very stereotypical, pretentious lyrics
Yeah.
where the songs mostly sound like Weezer.
There you go.
There you go.
That's
it.
That's all it has to be. But it was an hour and a half long. I kind of liked it because there was no previews. It started right at 11:30 and it ended at 1 o'clock. So it was exactly an hour and a half long. It was perfect. I was out of the theater.
Probably home at a reasonable time.
No, I had other stuff to do. But yes, I would have been home at a reasonable time had I had nothing to do for the rest of the day.
Well,
But there was a ton of people on 11:30 on a Sunday morning.
oh yeah.
Going to see that.
Oh, I know, Steve. Yeah, I know. Listen, it's entered my home too. That's all in the Bax and Nagle house as well.
Which one's your favorite song?
Oh boy, it's that one that does that one thing where she talks about a lot of very pretentious stuff and it's too wordy.
There was somebody on TikTok this morning was looking at it and it was like, at least all her fans know now that she's not very intelligent and she's just an idiot that puts music together. And I'm like, okay, well, but she's not an idiot in the business sense because
She's just sold a couple million copies of a record.
she's also worth over $1 billion. This woman could flatulate into a microphone and sell 1 million copies of it.
Which, by the way, is
Yeah.
what she did on the last album.
It's called Taylor Piffed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dead Pooch Society.
The Simpsons. Yeah, the Dead Poof Society. Whew. Queen of the Castle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lord of the Manor.
The Simpsons hold a special place at Universal Studios theme parks, and the cartoon's co-showrunner doesn't think that should ever change. Fans have speculated that Simpsons could move to the Disney parks after the House of Mouse acquired the show in 2019 with its purchase of Fox. And they're saying if Universal loses the Simpsons, then that's the end of the theme park because a lot of that is a big part of the Universal Studios experience.
Wow.
I thought that Harry Potter thing was...
Harry Potter's a big one, but The Simpsons is also a pretty big one.
Kim Kardashian is rumored to be launching a new wellness retreat in Malibu where guests get to disconnect from the digital world and reconnect with their inner power.
Really? Well, she must have had something to say.
Oh my God, the last time I reconnected with my inner power was when Ray J deep tissue massaged my chakra tunnel with his spiritual bratwurst and unlocked my root canal in that sex tape where you can watch on YouPorn for $39.95.
So spiritual.
Yeah.
Really, really, really touches me. Caitlin?
Well, I never got that down and dirty with her mother, Chris Kim. But one time we got so spiritually aligned, I found that G-spot by accident while reaching for the TV remote. I yanked the Zen zipper. Opened the Moan Mandala.
What are you trying to say?
What I'm trying to say is we both astral projected into a Motel 6 in Bakerfield. That's what we in the tantric community called a cosmic yankathon. Can you feel it in your inner soul?
Not yet.
Your mother. And that is your Hollywood trash on Rock 102.
Axe's View from the Couch. Brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware, your grilling destination. Weber, Big Green Egg, Uni Pizza Ovens, and Traeger Woodfire Grills.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Well, that was somewhat unexpected. Last night, despite nearly every football expert in the country predicting otherwise, the Patriots marked into hostile Buffalo territory and got 71,000 people at Highmark Stadium to finally shut the hell up and walk back to their cars in disbelief. Disbelief that the Bills just lost to the New England Patriots on a Sunday night on national TV in front of everybody in the country in a come-from-behind victory with a final score of 23-20. Exciting stuff, huh? Well, not if you're a fan of the Buffalo Bills, it wasn't. Instead, you saw an underrated team bristling with youth and exuberance, completely forgetting that Buffalo was a 7.5-point favorite to win at home. Instead, Josh Allen and the Bills are watching it all slip away with sloppy turnovers and penalties, which allowed the Patriots to seal the deal with an Andy Borregale's 52-yard field goal with 12 seconds left to play. You had Stephon Diggs coming back to Buffalo in a Patriots uniform with 10 catches for 146 yards. And what about that kid Drake May, completing 22 passes for 273 yards? That puts his season yardage total at 1,261 yards, good for 5th in the NFL. That's a full 3 slots up from Josh Allen of the Bills, who, I would remind everybody, was supposed to crush the Patriots last night by 7.5 points, but could not. Now, next week on NFL's easiest schedule, the Patriots will face the 1-4 New Orleans Saints at the Superdome. Now, while the Patriots have won back-to-back games for the first time in Drake May's young career, the Saints are coming off their first win of the entire season, having soundly beaten the only team that might be worse than they are, the New York Giants. How they're going to fare facing a recently sprung juggernaut like the New England Patriots is anyone's guess. All I can tell you is, if you're looking to lose money, bet on the Saints. If you're hoping to not look like the biggest dope in the history of sports gambling, I'd take the Patriots and the points, whatever they may be. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. Clark and Kensington may not be the most famous house paint in the world, but it's highly rated. You could say Clark and Kensington paint punches above its weight, way above. Save $10 a gallon right now at Rocky's and Clark and Kensington paint, interior or exterior. You'll find it at your neighborhood Rocky's Ace Hardware. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch.
Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock.
Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock. It's 6:12, and the Stones of Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It is going to be, and I will tell you in just 1 second, the weather for today. Sunny with a high of 82. Tomorrow, cloudy with a high of 79. It is 58 right now in downtown Springfield.
Scott Cohen will be joining us in about an hour. There's a couple of things to talk with him about, and a ton of stuff to give away today. We'll start later on this hour. We'll tell you more about that in just a little bit.
So Saturday night, we got together at the Elks Club over on Granby Road in Chicopee, and we had a funeral celebration for somebody who was still alive.
You know, it's very much like that whole that whole episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm, where Albert Brooks wants to have a funeral before he dies,
right.
And then someone opened up the closet and found John O'Brien's stash of
hand sanitizer, wipes.
Toilet paper.
He was a COVID hoarder.
That's exactly what he was.
Yeah.
That's what it totally reminded me of.
But I thought the night went very well. It was morbid and fun,
but appropriately morbid. I mean, there's a way to be morbid and
right.
have everyone feeling really bad, but there's also a way to be morbid and have everybody walking out there feel like that was a really cool thing.
Well, I mean, the idea going into it, I was told, well, make this like a Bob Saget type of, filthy, disgusting, awful, offend everybody type of deal. And you know what, I'm mature enough to know your audience at this point. You got to remember, there's a lot of people coming that aren't interested in that. They're there to just be a support for John O'Brien, and
including his family, which
right.
They probably didn't think they needed to hear any of that stuff.
I even scaled back the Kim Kardashian reference because his mother was sitting right up front. There's a certain I can't look anybody in the eye when I say those dirty things. You know what I mean?
You can't even look at me in the eye when you say it.
No, I have to look down at a piece of paper because that's where I wrote it on.
That's how I know you're done, because when you're done, then you look at me, and then I know to say,
"That's it,
Caitlin."
Yeah. But we had Nick Cochi there.
I thought he did a very nice job. Very Very sincere.
We had, who else did we have? Tim Rook, which was the lackluster performance of the entire night. But who also was coordinating this video with former Governor Charlie Baker, who's now leading up the NCAA.
Right.
But he was supposed to produce a video and send it. And it's like Saturday afternoon. I'm like, ain't no video here, so we're just going to run a little slideshow thing. I had a little slideshow thing, and I didn't have to worry about hooking up the audio because there was no video.
Sure.
Until about 5 minutes before the performance started. Hey, by the way, Baker sent this video. I'm like, and then it turns out Charlie Baker said to Tim Rook, hey, I thought I had until the 7th to produce this thing.
Right.
And he's like, what idiot told you the 7th? And then Charlie Baker sends a screenshot back to Tim Rook showing that you, in fact, sent this for October 7th.
So Marty and I are, so Tim gets up, right? Mm-hmm. And Marty and I are sitting on the side of the room because I was going to follow Tim. And Marty says to me, this is what happens when Tylenol and pregnancy meld. And I thought, yeah, right. I said, dude, I'm taking that. He said, you take it. And one of the first things I said when I got up is, Tim Rook, everybody, this is what happens when Tylenol and pregnancy mix.
It was very, very well done. And it was true, too. I was waiting for RFK to do a presentation. Well, thanks for Tim for coming around to I know he's had a rough life with Tylenol, but he's okay, and we're going to get him on the mend,
Yeah, Barry did a great job.
Barry did fantastic. That other guy, I guess, he was there.
He was a former, like so many people in the building, a former Rock 102 employee who has whatever. He did his thing, and then I did mine, and then I actually thought that the highlight of the night was probably John's brother Tim, who I thought did an absolutely brilliant speech about his brother. That was amazing. So if Tim,
that was the winner of the night,
without a doubt. So if Tim is listening to this, or someone knows Tim, and lots of people do, please let him know that we were very, very impressed.
We don't need two O'Briens with clout. He did a good job.
He did a very good job.
Don't oversell.
I'm not overselling anything. I'm being honest and being sincere.
Me too. I'm being honest.
I know you're being honest, but that's from your perspective. I'm being compassionately sincere.
Well, I just want to thank everybody for coming out to my comedy show that turned into the roast for John O'Brien.
Yeah. You know what? They had a real bunch of balls to take that away from you.
Yeah,
this was your night to shine.
Hey, I would have sold at least 80 tickets, okay?
Not in one night,
no,
but eventually, had you done like 4 shows, sure?
Yeah, over the course of several weeks, we could have done 80 total. Hey, I barely filled the Academy of Music in Northampton. You think I can't barely fill an Elks Club on a Saturday night?
Wait a minute. When you say you barely filled the Academy of Music, are you talking about per row?
Yes. Actually, that was... I told you, it was like being in a giant living room with a very long couch that everybody's sitting on.
All I can think of is that scene in Spinal Tap where the band gets back together and does that jazz exploration at an amusement park.
Yes.
And it's so densely, sparsely populated.
Yep.
Like 2 guys with a Spinal Tap T-shirt and a bunch of people who I think were on the, they're like custodians.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was like.
Yeah.
So, but we had a good time, and I think the night went well. And when we were saying, most people were saying throughout the night, like, this is like this final hurrah thing, but I have a feeling we'll be back here next October doing the same thing.
That we can hope, but the truth of the matter is, we understand what John means to this community. We understand what he means to us too. But it's like, at the time that things kind of got crazy over here, we were not allowed to speak publicly about our feelings about the whole thing. And we all wish that things had happened in a different way. And now the time has passed, I feel like I can say at least this, that, one of the things that I felt I needed to say on Saturday, and I've said to John since, or even before that is, I think he and I both share a certain level of gratitude for what we were able to accomplish here, and we both acknowledge that without each other, the success we had probably wouldn't have happened, or certainly wouldn't have happened in the same way. So
yes, and that's why I thanked you for coming to my comedy show on Saturday.
Steve, I'll be happy to bring your comedy audiences down to whatever level I need to do. But in this case, even though it was your comedy show, it wasn't really about you in the least.
Well, it was. I mean,
maybe in your perspective,
No,
but from
it was all
everybody
about
else,
me,
I think we were kind of focused on the other guy on the stage.
Nah, nobody came to see him.
They all came to see it.
No,
That's why
they
it
were all-
sold out in 2 days.
Why were they all saying hi to me when they walked in the door?
But they said hi because you were standing in front of them. They said, "Hi, Steve. Let me get to John."
Maybe I shouldn't have been standing by the door. That would have been nice. But listen, it was bittersweet. It was a very successful night, and I'm glad it happened, and I'm glad we turned it around fast enough to put that together.
The unfortunate part about it, was obviously there's a capacity issue at the Elks, and the Elks did a great job, and it was really nice. And we probably could have done that at a much bigger venue. And I know a lot of people were disappointed they weren't able to get tickets and want to know, is this going to be streamed anywhere? Is this going to be available? At some point it will, and when it is, we'll let you know about it.
It will.
But as of right now, it's not yet available.
Well, I mean, I just special thanks to the folks that came out and did that. Forrest Landry was his name, who came and did the video for that. Here's the thing. He used to run a video business. Now he doesn't run a video business anymore. So he's has all the equipment. So now he's uploading it to a Dropbox thing where I'm going to have to download it at some point. But because it was, almost 2 hours long, that's a pretty big file, and there's multiple pieces to it. So
and he has dial-up at home, and that's going to slow things down.
Well, I just want to thank there was a lot of people who donated their time to do things for that event, and he wanted to say, well, he was enjoying listening to all of us for many years, and he just figured he could pay us back by videotaping the thing. So we appreciate that. So thank you.
It should also be said, and you posted this last night. I think this is great. This ultimately was a fundraiser not for John O'Brien, but this is a fundraiser for the Chicopee Police Association and their Shop for a Kid campaign, which is a really cool cool
I thought it was
effort.
shoplifting with a cop.
No, it is not. I checked because that was my first thought too. But no, it's shop.
That's why I was on board.
I got it, and that's why I was one of the first ticket buyers. But I'm just saying. It went to that organization, that part of their mission. They raised almost $10,000, which I think is fantastic.
Over $10,000, and they really got. I mean, if you want to get in on this other thing they got going on, they're giving away a motorcycle. I don't know what kind of motorcycle, but it's $100 for a ticket. $100. Let's say you're like a frequent scratch ticket player or a lottery player, and you spend $100 standing there, and you wind up with jack squat.
Yeah,
that's because the chances of winning are very, very slim. Now, if you buy a $100 ticket for a motorcycle that only a finite number of people are in, you got a pretty damn good chance of winning a motorcycle. Or they give you $24,000 in cash. Because that's how much the motorcycle's worth.
Really? They're giving away a cash equivalent?
It's either a cash prize or the motorcycle.
That's actually a pretty good deal.
Check out the Chicopee Police Association, and thanks to everybody who came out Saturday night.
It's just about 6:24 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. Winter. It's 6:26 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Liam should have the full forecast for you.
Rock 102 and Aqua Pump are giving you a chance to win a pair of tickets to see New England take on New York in Foxborough December 1st. Sign up at rock102.com by the end of the day on October 19th, which is 13 days away from today. It's your chance to see New England versus New York, brought to you by Aqua Pump and Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock.
All right, you ready to laugh?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's try to do that.
It's Bax and Nagle's Joke of the Day.
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you.
On Rock 102.
I make you laugh.
Springfield's classic rock.
Father and son are outside at night, outside the house, gazing up at the sky. And the kid says to Dad, "Dad, how do stars die?" And the dad goes, usually by an overdose, son. He's talking about, he's not talking about the things up in the sky. He's talking about that.
Bax and Nagle in the morning on Rock 102.
Here's your West
6:30 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. It's time for news brought to you by Gary Rome Hyundai. Technicians get up to a $5,000 sign-on bonus right now. Learn more at GaryRomeHyundai.com/family. His local radio icon, Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bax. 2 people died and a man was arrested after a rollover crash Friday night on Route 5 and 15 in Wethersfield on Friday. The crash took place just before midnight in the area of Exit 85, according to officials. State police said the vehicle veered from the left lane and struck the metal beam guardrail before rolling over and traveling down the embankment. A search in the wooded area discovered 2 occupants identified as 25-year-old Joshua Gonzalez of Springfield and 21-year-old Edwin Guzman of Chicopee outside of the vehicle suffering from life-threatening injuries. They were transported to Hartford Hospital where they later died. The operator of the vehicle, 22-year-old Alexis Garcia of Springfield, appeared to be under the influence and failed to perform a field sobriety test to standard. According to state police, she was charged with operating a motor vehicle under the influence of alcohol and drugs. It was held on $250,000 bond and will appear in New Britain Superior Court today. Anyone who's witnessed the accident and has any information is asked to call the Connecticut State Police. It was a horrible, horrible weekend in the Connecticut area here. Connecticut State Police are also investigating after a pedestrian was struck and killed in Windsor on Saturday by a Springfield driver. Connecticut State Police said that the incident occurred at 7:04 p.m. on Saturday. Investigation revealed that a pedestrian was standing in the left shoulder of I-91 North, south of exit 40 in Windsor after being involved in a prior traffic crash. The pedestrian allegedly walked to the travel lane for an unknown reason and was then struck by a vehicle. The vehicle and the pedestrian both came to a stop at the left shoulder. The driver and the passenger, both from Springfield, had no reported injuries. The pedestrian, identified as 30-year-old Santiago Jimenez of Meriden, was brought to a Hartford hospital where he died shortly after. The Connecticut State Police is investigating that collision. They're asking anyone who may have captured dash cam footage to contact the Connecticut State Police. The Enfield Police is also investigating a crash in which a pedestrian was killed and a building was struck on Saturday morning. Enfield Police Lieutenant Keith Parent stated at approximately 9:43 on Saturday, officers were called to the intersection of Hazard Avenue and Middle Road regarding a motor vehicle crash. Investigation revealed that the operator of a BMW SUV was driving on Hazard Avenue when they left the roadway and reportedly struck a pedestrian and a crosswalk signal. Following the collision, the vehicle continued moving forward and crashed into a building at 80 Hazard Avenue, eventually stopping inside the business. Police said the driver was brought to Hartford Hospital to be treated for minor injuries. The pedestrian, identified as 57-year-old Kimberly Knowles, was brought to Bay State Medical Center where she died shortly after. The intersection was closed for several hours after the crash, with eastbound traffic on Hazard Avenue being diverted out of Freshwater Boulevard. If you have any information, you're asked to call the Enfield Police. What a horrible weekend.
The whole weekend.
With all this stuff. Even on Friday in Wilbraham, a man is in custody following an incident that led to a shelter-in-place in a Wilbraham neighborhood. Wilbraham Police Chief Edward Lennon said that their department received a call around 7:15 a.m. Friday for a report of a man threatening another person with a gun on Crane Hill Road. When officers arrived, they found an armed man who was firing guns. Yikes.
Yeah.
Lennon added, due to the nature of the threat, State Police tactical team was called in. The suspect was safely taken into custody around 12:30, and no injuries were reported. According to residents, that area of Wilbraham was told by police to shelter in place until further notice, which was lifted around 12:30, but a shelter in place was the least of the worries for the residents. Some told Western Mass News dozens of emergency vehicles were lining the street for hours, from fire trucks to military trucks. Residents described first responders as being geared up with full body armor and weaponry, indicating a potential threat in the area.
I was getting notifications on it, and it's like, that road is not. I mean, I live kind of like on the border of both towns, but it's like that wasn't that close. But it's like when I was hearing about all the activity that was going on, and reading online about the whole road had been shut down, and they got like SWAT teams out there. It's like, holy smokes, this is crazy.
There was simultaneously two things going on. There was that incident, and then there was a major accident on Munson Road.
Right.
In Wilbraham as well. I thought initially when I heard on Friday morning there's a heavy police presence in Wilbraham, and I'm like, wow, they really haven't cleaned up that accident yet. It was because of this other incident.
Yeah.
Yikes. Everybody just needs to take a deep breath and calm down.
Everybody needs to just chill out, okay? Let's just chill out and drive safe and not start waving our guns around if we can help it.
How about school on Saturday?
This newscast is just filled with happy news.
The Springfield Public School Superintendent, Dr. Sonia Denal, hosted the first Super Saturday in partnership with the Springfield Library for its second year. Super Saturdays and Sundays are designed to be an open forum with the superintendent in order to help boost parent participation and oversight into their child's education on Saturdays and Sundays.
So what is the plan here?
Well, the Springfield City Library also provides students with a gift basket or for a raffle prize and the door prize for the participation in the first forum, because you can't get kids to come to school on a Saturday without dangling something in front of them.
Listen, try to put yourself in that position. You're a kid, okay? Let's say you're like a sophomore in high school.
Yeah.
All right, and all of a sudden you've spent your entire school career having your weekends off, getting away from all the other kids and the teachers and the principals and everything else, and then they tell you you're going to start going to school on Saturdays. Well, you're going to be pretty angry, but you know who will be even more angry? Teachers and principals and custodians.
Well, they're not
and all
invited.
the people that desperately need their weekends.
They're not invited. It's only the kids.
Oh, really?
Only the kids have to go to school and the superintendent. So they're doing a good job over there.
Okay.
One person has been arrested and a second suspect has been identified after the theft of a donation box in Springfield. According to Ryan Walsh from the Springfield Police, the officers responded to a city library branch on the 200 block of State Street on Saturday morning for a reported larceny. This is not the same library that the superintendent was giving a presentation at.
No.
Two suspects allegedly cut the lock on a donation box in the library and reportedly also did the same thing at a Springfield museum's on Edwards Street. As security guards tried to stop the suspects, one of them, identified as 33-year-old Carly Bond of Hamden, allegedly punched a security guard in the face. Police arrived, placed her under arrest, and recovered her over $500 in donations. She's facing charges including 2 counts of breaking into a depository, possession of burglarious instruments, assault and battery, and larceny under $1,200. Walsh added that the second suspect, who was seen in the surveillance video, was able to get away. On Friday, a photo of that suspect was released by investigators. Late Friday morning, he said the suspect identified in the previous released photo was withdrawn for investigatory purposes. Additional information about that suspect, including their identity or charges, was not immediately available. Anyone with any information on the incident is asked to call the Springfield Police.
Steve, when you talk about burglarious instruments, was this for a band practice?
No.
Were they getting the band back together?
They were not getting the band back together.
Trailer Trash wasn't doing like gigs inside empty homes?
No. That was not happening.
Okay, I just want to be quite clear.
Yeah, I know it sounds,
When you say burglarious instruments, I'm thinking in terms of, maybe like a sock hop or, like a little hoedown.
Well, who doesn't like a good sock hop?
Haven't had one of those in a long time.
We should have a sock. We should do the Bax and Nagle sock hop.
That would be a great idea. I'm sure management would love it.
Well, I mean, if we're talking about doing comedy shows at 4:30 in the afternoon, we can certainly bring back the sock hop at 1 p.m. before the comedy show begins. Dress as your favorite 50s or 60s star.
Yeah.
You got a bunch of Dions walking in there.
Oh, yeah.
And then the Belmonts.
Eddie and his juniors.
And the juniors.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
what about
sure.
the Platters? Everybody's showing a Big Bopper. Richie Valens. They're all alive.
Yeah,
and they're here
still
in
around.
one place.
That's it.
I don't think that's a bad idea.
No, let's try to shoot for that. We'll have like a little gathering and try to hammer out the details.
A U.S. Postal Service worker was shot in the face During an altercation Friday afternoon in Everett, Washington, an arrival package delivery driver is in custody.
It was a parcel delivery showdown?
Yeah. The incident took place at the West Mall Place Apartments. The victim was transported to a hospital with a gunshot wound. The Everett Police Department said in a Facebook post he was transferred to another medical center because he was in critical condition. Neighbors said the shooter was an Amazon delivery driver, according to a local TV station and social media posts. TV footage showed an Amazon vehicle and a USPS van behind police crime scene tape and the Amazon being towed away. USPS workers don't let people in the area when they have the mailboxes open. The Amazon driver didn't particularly like that. They got into an argument, was escalated into a shoving match, which then escalated into the Amazon driver shooting the USPS guy in the eye.
Ow.
Then he sat there calmly and waited for police to show up and claim self-defense.
Wait a minute, he didn't continue on the stops?
Well, no, he was done for the day. That was the last
I would hope so.
The TV station reported that a U.S. postal inspector is saying the mail carrier was confronted by an individual and the carrier was shot in the face. The Postal Inspection Service and the FBI are also investigating. The suspect was booked into jail. So,
yeah, really. I mean, should these guys even be having guns? They're there to deliver the mail and get the hell out. Who's got time for gunplay?
Well, you're on a turf war here. I thought they were working together anyway.
They're working together, but they're still rivals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if they feel like, you're delivering your packages better or faster than they are, you're just building up jealousies and whatnot.
It drives me nuts, and I've complained about this before. I live 11 miles from the Amazon facility.
Yes.
Yet Amazon does not come to my house. They will deliver everything to my post office box. And I watch the Amazon van go right by the house to deliver it to the post office. Yet I have friends who live, like in Wilbraham, who live 15 miles away from that Amazon facility. They can get delivery within a few hours. It blows my mind how I don't need the same day thing.
No.
But at least come to the house and drop the package off.
Well, I think the point of that is, in a town like Wilbraham, you can assume that there are many people getting packages on one particular route. In Huntington, there's only like 15 people that live in that town anyway. So now you're kind of going maybe in the opposite direction to make one or two deliveries in town when you can go in another direction to make like 15 or 20.
Yeah.
So, it's all about efficiency with them and UPS and all the others.
Okay, but if you got a van full of stuff,
yeah,
and you're going, and it's all that stuff is delivered for the people of Huntington, just take the van out and drop the packages off on your way to the post office.
They don't have that kind of time.
Yes, they do.
Maybe for you, but for their efficiency, no, they do not.
I don't know.
Well.
Maybe I'm not in charge of Amazon, and maybe one day when I am, I'll change that system.
When Jeff Bezos steps down, I'm sure you'll be the next one called.
Well, I'm the heir to the Bezos fortune.
Is that a fact?
Yeah, he said so.
Huh.
I got an email about it yesterday.
No, I think
for some reason
I think he just said that your Prime membership is up and needs to be removed.
No, he's staying in Nigeria right now.
Uh-huh.
He can't get home. I wired him $1,000 yesterday because he was like, and he's like, listen, if you wire me $1,000 so I can get home, I will not only reimburse you the $1,000, but I will put you in my will, and you will be the heir to the Amazon fortune. I don't think that's
so. Let me get this straight.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos, one of the richest people in the world, needs to get out of a foreign country. And the only person he knows that has $1,000 is Steve Nagle from Huntington, Massachusetts.
And now he used to have $1,000 because he sent it to Jeff Bezos to get him off that island, wherever he was.
I don't mean to alarm you, but that might not have been the real Jeff Bezos.
You know, you and your pessimism, every day I come in here. I'm the most pessimistic person I've ever met in my entire life.
I know.
And you just don't want me to have happiness. Happiness.
No, Steve. I want you to have happiness with $1,000.
I bet you do. Your Pioneer Valley forecast today is going to be sunny with a high of 82. Tomorrow, cloudy with a high of 79. It is 57 right now in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102. Oh, yeah.
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 6:53 in Cream with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It is going to be sunny with a high of 82. Tomorrow, cloudy with a high of 79. It is 57 right now in downtown Springfield.
Let's see. We got Scott Cohen joining us in just a few minutes, and we actually have stuff to give away.
We do. We have lots of stuff to give away. Let's hold off a minute on that.
All right, hold off.
I just wanted to address something here.
Yeah, go ahead.
My birthday is next Monday. And
well, happy birthday.
Well, thank you. It's not the birthday yet. You can say happy birthday on the
happy pre-birthday
on the actual day. Thank you. Now, very rarely does my birthday fall on Columbus Day. It happens like every 12 years or so.
Okay.
So I'm like, when I was a kid and that happened, I remember it happening, I think it was 1989 that it happened. And I was happier than a pig in shiznit because I'm like 12 years old or 11 years old, and I'm like, I get the day off for my birthday. It's a holiday, and it's my birthday. And
double bonus right there.
Yeah, double bonus. And now that I'm older, in my adult years, getting into my elderly years soon, we still have to come to work on Monday.
Yeah, it's not really a special day for you.
Why is that not a holiday for us?
Well, I don't know, Steve. I mean, what would you prefer to celebrate? The day of your birth or Columbus spreading syphilis to the natives?
Well, I expect a smallpox blanket in my box on Monday morning. Loaded. Like that guy did up in Amherst.
Well, that's great. Now we just spoil the surprise for your birthday.
Well, I wanted famine, disease.
Not that.
Not this. Yeah. I want a day off, too. That's what I really want.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't understand. I mean, some people get the day off to celebrate, whatever, all the rape and pestilence of Christopher Columbus or, whatever he is suspected of doing. But, yeah, we got other holidays off that I wouldn't necessarily have expected, but we get them off.
Like what?
Well, for the longest time, we didn't get Martin Luther King Day off.
Well,
I mean, and
there's a reason why we get that off now.
I understand that, and believe me when I tell you that on that day, I absolutely celebrate the life and sacrifice of Martin Luther King. Yeah. I totally do.
And the company finally delivered after it's only been going for like 5 years now.
There were years we worked Labor Day or Memorial Day.
Yeah.
And again, I always celebrate those who are currently in labor or crowning or at least dilating in some way. And then as far as Memorial Day goes, I always try to plant a tree on a Memorial Drive every year.
Labor Day you worked because it was a charitable thing. You did the Jerry's Kids thing for Channel 40.
Yeah, but often we would be, but that Monday we were forced to go and work for years until we made the case that, hey.
It's Labor Day.
There are women having babies all over the world. We should be celebrating this.
Yeah.
So anyway, I don't know. Maybe we should ask to have that day off too, so you can celebrate that birthday.
Yeah,
it is a milestone.
It's a huge milestone, but it would be even huger if I had the day off.
See, and only you can make that case to management.
I wish I could tell you why we have MLK Day off.
Well, you don't need to.
No,
we just have to assume that we are celebrating the life of Martin Luther King Jr.
Do you think if we acquire an Italian station, we can get Columbus Day off? You think? Because I know those people are pretty adamant about.
I don't know,
Steve.
I don't know if that would be the case. I would hope that we wouldn't even have to do that. We should just know on our own that to not have to do that.
I'll honor anybody I can get a day off from.
Me too.
I have no qualms about that.
I completely agree.
If they came out with Jeffrey Dahmer Day, I'd be like, yeah, you know what? Jeffrey Dahmer was a great guy as long as I can have the day off. What about John Wayne Gacy?
Yeah, and we
Day?
celebrate it with a gigantic feast of manwiches.
Yeah, Ted Bundy Day.
Yeah.
BTK Day. Yeah.
You're right, BTK.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of great events, you're going to love this.
Speaking of blind, torturing, and killing.
The Brimfield Brew Fest is coming up on Saturday, October 18th at the New England Motel in Brimfield. More than 30 craft beers and home breweries, food trucks, and more. You can get your tickets at brimfieldbrewfest.com. And if you don't win tickets, you can purchase them for 30% off in the Shop 30 store at rock102.com. You got to be over 21. And we happen to have a pair of tickets to give away right now.
Right now?
Right now.
Well, maybe you can enjoy them on your Columbus Day off.
That would be...
while I'm here entertaining you.
There you go. 293-1021, 10th caller gets the tickets. Good luck to you. 658 at Rock 102.
It's Bax's View from the Couch. Brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware, your grilling destination. Weber, Big Green Egg, Uni Pizza Ovens, and Traeger Woodfire Grills.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Folks, I'm not a violent fella. I'm a meek, mild-mannered pacifist, a kind of kind-hearted fella that rarely starts an argument. I'm also the sort of fella that rarely produces a deadly weapon during minor disagreements or misunderstandings, and yet there are plenty of people who do. And perhaps nowhere is this more evident than the recent happenings involving former New York Jets quarterback Mark Sanchez. Now, you might ask, Maxie, is that the same Mark Sanchez who is known for what is known as the butt fumble against the New England Patriots in 2012, in which he ran face first into the butt cheeks of his own offensive lineman? Why, yes, it is. And now, following this latest incident, the butt fumble is now the second stupidest thing to have happened to Mark Sanchez's career. On Saturday, Mark Sanchez, who is now a broadcaster for Fox, was ready to work yesterday's Colts-Raiders game when somehow he was hospitalized and put in critical condition after receiving multiple stab wounds during an altercation with a truck driver in Indianapolis. Now, sounds tragic, right? That's what I thought, too. That was until it was reported that Mark Sanchez had been placed under arrest while still in the hospital for a series of charges, including battery with injury, unlawful entry of a motor vehicle, and public intoxication. Now, there's lots of details about this situation that have not yet been made public, such as the name and condition of the truck driver. Nor do we know why Mark Sanchez was trying to get in the truck. All I can tell you is, if your entire 10-year-long football career has been overshadowed by that one time you shoved your face into another man's bottom with such ferocious velocity that it caused you to fumble and lose possession of the football, then you're probably looking for nearly anything to get people to start thinking about you in different ways. Unfortunately, even in a hospital, a jail cell, or in a criminal court, you're always going to be the guy with a butt fumble fighting 3 violent misdemeanor charges against you. In other words, Sanchez, you're going to have to do a little bit better than this. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. You're going to rake all those leaves? You need to get an Ego battery-powered leaf blower. It's lightweight. You can wield it like a lightsaber as you vanquish those little sad leaves all over the lawn. Get your Ego blower at Rocky's, $199 with your Ace Rewards card, only at Rocky's Ace Hardware. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch.
Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock.
Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock. It's 712 and Zeppelin with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It's gonna. What's the matter with Zeppelin? You got a problem with Zeppelin
No,
now?
I love Led Zeppelin, but I'm like, wow, Led Zeppelin. I mean, when was the last time I heard a Led Zeppelin song?
About an hour and a half ago.
Sunny.
And there'll be another one an hour and a half from now.
Oh, boy.
Sunny today with a high of 82. It is 57 in downtown Springfield. Drake May, that kid showed up big, huh? Delivered a game-winning drive, made clutch throws under pressure, and outdueled Josh Allen in the spotlight. It's performances like that which make you believe this rebuild might actually be something. I yield my time to the gentleman from Northampton.
Thank you, buddy. Absolutely, buddy. What a win.
What a
game last night. Absolutely, like, just that thing fell out of the clouds. And I'm looking, listen, we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. You look at this at their schedule right now. It was easy to begin with. They're looking at a 10-plus win season.
I mean, you look at it, so there's the Saints. The Saints are horrible.
They're horrible.
The only team that is worse than the Saints are the team they beat, which is the New York Giants.
Yep.
Which they will face on December 1st.
Right.
But then there's the Titans, the Browns, the Falcons, the Buccaneers, they might not get to that one so well.
The Tampa game that's a big one on the road. Okay, so
but then the Jets, the Bengals, which are a mess right now,
mess.
And then the Giants and Bills again.
And then they've got Buffalo at home on December 14th. They're again, we're getting way ahead of ourselves. They're undefeated in their division. The game last. You had to beat Buffalo to have any shot of winning the division. If that was even on the table for these guys,
right?
And they go on the road last night. They do it on national television. Drake May has his coming out party. Stephon Diggs, takes advantage of going back and rubbing it in his old
Diggs came to Buffalo, showed no mercy. 10 catches for 146 yards. He reminded everyone he's still a nightmare matchup.
He's a nightmare friggin' matchup.
I could have put it better myself, Steve. Thank you very much for that. But last week there were some stories from Mass Live talking about, the development of Drake May in his second year and how much more advanced he was than, say, a Josh Allen. And people were looking at that thing, get out of here. He's better than Josh Allen in the second year. But if you look at the passing stats for this season now, this kind of blew me away when I saw this. So Drake May is number 5 in the NFL. He's only being bested by Matthew Stafford, Dak Prescott, Daniel Jones, and Baker Mayfield. Josh Allen
is pretty heady company, right?
Very heady company. Then followed by Sam Darnold, who's having a great year, Justin Herbert from the Chargers, and then Josh Allen at number 8. Granted, Drake May is not at a Josh Allen level, typically speaking. But when you think about, we're only giving this kid really a season and a half,
right?
Because he didn't start last year in the beginning of the season,
right? He does not even have a full NFL season under his belt.
Absolutely not.
And Drake May, that kid showed up big. He delivered a game-winning drive, made clutch throws under pressure, and outdueled Josh Allen in the spotlight. It's performances like that make you believe this rebuild might actually be something.
Didn't you do that?
I know.
But Scotty, he had a very good point, and I think it bears repeating that that Drake May did in fact have a great game, and it's the first time that in his career he's won back-to-back games.
No touchdowns, no interceptions. He just went out there and he played solid. And what I really liked about the game last night, Bax, was the fact that what they did, that is a repeatable game. They didn't screw up the kicking game at all. That kid played great.
Borregales isn't just a kicker now; he's a weapon. And the punting flip field stuff needed breathing room.
You do realize that I drive 20 minutes down here and then have to drive 20 minutes back.
Well, listen,
right?
he's
not my problem.
He is giving you all the analysis that I think anyone could have expected out of him, and every bit of it is accurate.
You would have regurgitated from WEEI anyway.
That's another thing. Why do you think that's so unusual?
It's just regurgitated garbage. You're just repeating the same things over and over again.
Don't we all repeat the same things
anywhere?
Well, I believe it's called broadcasting.
I think that's called broadcasting, Steve.
Whatever. It's
kind of like, stealing jokes when you're a comedian. It's all the same jokes. They're just regurgitated and told in different ways. It's the same thing.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Is that how you feel about it?
No, well, I don't know.
We don't really have to do this segment every
All right. Do I need to separate you two bitches for a little bit? Because we're getting to that point where I may have to. But
the thing I liked about last night the most, Bax, is that was a repeatable win. They didn't do anything out of the ordinary. Drake May didn't have to go out there and throw 4 touchdown passes and throw for 500 yards for them to win.
I think
it was a repeat. They can do that every week.
Yeah, but the injuries suck. Antonio Gibson went down with a knee injury on a kickoff return. That's a huge blow.
That is true. But the other thing that is also true, and even Zolak said it, that one of the things that's showing to be true is that Drake May is like learning from mistakes. He's not doing the same screw-ups twice. He may not have a great game, but then those things get corrected. Again, it's a season and a half for this kid. So you say, well, okay, he's doing pretty good right now. They got a favorable schedule. What's Drake May going to be in year 3, maybe year 4, when they start to develop and start really building more around him?
That's the biggest win that they've had, like as they say in the post-Tom Brady era, right? That's the biggest win they've had in 3 years. And now it's on to New Orleans, and let's win there.
Baseball, the Red Sox were knocked out.
Poor Yankees.
Yeah, I know the Yankees are really getting the shaft. But you know what? Can I just say this before we get into talking about that? I understand that baseball wants to have as many wild card teams as possible.
Sure.
Financially, it makes all the sense in the world to them. But there seems to be something inherently unfair to have one team host all three games.
Sure.
I think that has to change. That is a terrible, terrible precedent to set because, let's face it, most teams on the road in that situation are road teams are going to wind up losing. And I not that it was all because the Red Sox were on the road that they lost, but it's like, that to me that gives such an advantage to the home team.
Well, I think the biggest part of it is the travel. I mean, you have to sit there if Seattle, made the postseason. You can't fly, from one coast to the other. That just takes too long. But I'm with you. It doesn't make any sense on the surface.
If competitively, it makes no sense. But I just think that it's too bad. But nevertheless, the Yankees are 0-2 in
buddy,
that series.
Stick a fork in the Yankees, buddy.
They're doing a hell of a lot better than the Red Sox are right now.
They're done.
True.
How do you get absolutely blown out in those two playoff games? It's just it's unbelievable. Unreal.
But Toronto has been a solid team.
They've been the first place team all year.
So that's why. And the Yankees have had, very much like the Red Sox, up and down. They do great. There's a lot of talent on that team, but I mean, push comes to shove. Toronto is just a better team.
They were runners up anyway. It's not like, they were the top team to be going around. So what did you expect was going to happen?
Well,
when they
I told the story a couple of weeks ago. I was at Fenway Park for one of the Yankee Red Sox games in September, and the players' face and the stats pop up on the scoreboard. Buddy, they had 5 guys who hit 20 home runs during the regular season, and then another guy who hit 19, and that was in early September. And for a lineup, and what's his face, Judge with 50 home runs.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden you get yourself into the most important part of the season, and you go silent like that. Unbelievable.
Well, I mean, the series is not over.
It's not over.
But it's not looking great. And you're right. I mean, there's so much talent of the Yankees, you think that they could potentially turn it around.
David Ortiz said yesterday that they could get Jesus to rise from the dead and get in the Yankees lineup, and they're still not going to win the series.
I'm afraid, contractually speaking, he is not available to play. You wanted to mention a little something about how great UMass football has been playing right now.
Man, I've been watching the Minutemen this year, and every time they lost at home to Bryant, and then they had was it Northern Michigan or Western Michigan? I can't remember who they played on Saturday.
It was a culinary school, and I believe like a 2-year. like a 2-year basket.
Our Lady of Perpetual Motion University.
Yes.
But Saturday was a game that they could have won, and they got beat again. And that program is in complete disarray. And the athletic director is talking about investing another $25 million into that program, and it just doesn't make any sense.
I think. At the college level, you have to spend money to make money. I think that's clear. That's why, like, many of the conferences are, they're getting investments now. They want to go through, all kinds of different things to make billions of dollars. I think you can look back years and years and years in the past to when UMass decided, athletics just isn't really a priority for us. And that was all the way back to the Bruiser Flint years.
Yep.
When they all of a sudden started to divest all the money they had put in to the basketball program and other sports. They've no kid with substantial athletic talent who is being recruited to other schools is going to choose UMass first.
No, they're not. You're going to get the also-rans, but they're in the MAC now, and they should be for the teams that they compete against. It's aside from the Penn States and the Georgias, where they go and they get the $1 million paycheck for going and getting their asses kicked. The teams that they play week in and week out are just like them. You're getting the second and third tier team players. to come to your school, but it's just not working, man. It's just a complete waste of time and money, and it's just not working out.
All right, I assume next week we'll be talking about another Patriots win, their third win in a row.
Unless they step on their you-know-what, we're going to be talking about another Patriots win.
All right, Scott Cohen. It's 7:24 on Rock 102. It's 7:27 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Liam's got the full forecast for you.
Hey, this week on Baxi's Musical Podcast, my guest is drummer Greg Langston from the formerly of the band Sea Hags. This is a San Francisco band that back in the late 80s was being touted as the next Guns N' Roses. In fact, they had demos that were produced by Kirk Hammett from Metallica, a band that was really on its way, but then fell short right before they started to record their first and only album. It is an amazing story of how that happened and what led up to it. He's now in a band called Lost Microwaves, and they're going to be at the Marigold Theater in East Hampton on Wednesday night. The Sea Hags, though, have got a brand new record out that is an old, previously unreleased recording from all the way back in the 1980s in California. It's a really cool record, and it's available on Liberation Hall Records. You can hear that interview right now on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify, the Rock 102 YouTube channel, rock102.com, as well as the app. It's all brought to you by Metro Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram Chicopee, and Rock 102 Springfield's Classic Rock.
All right, just checking in on the Route 10 Tire listener line. A couple of messages here. Tell Steve to shut the F up.
Is that same lady that had a problem?
No, this was from Daryl. And then this guy, I don't know if it's a guy or a girl, says, shut up, Steve, shut up, please. And I said, no. And they said, you really are a child at heart. And then some other lady said, shut up, Steve. Some of us want to hear the sports talk. And to which I replied, no. And then she wrote in all capital letters, shut up, Steve. And then I also replied no to that. I haven't heard back from her.
I think you're making great points.
Here's a guy two weeks in a row. First, last week was, can Steve not be part of this segment? His ignorance is annoying. Number 2, glad Steve is ruining another segment. I wish a better show was on. You could hear all the talking points an hour earlier on EEI when Scott studied to get those talking points.
You know,
for the game.
Steve, it's what you call research. And then, you get research from wherever you get it.
And then one guy, I love Steve's fake interest in sports.
Yeah, well, there you go.
And then another one, keep talking, Steve. That's a mixed bag. It's a 50-50.
Well, what are you going to do, Steve? I mean, every point you're making is a valid, well-thought-out point.
I didn't participate for the longest time, and then I was told, well, how come you're not participating in the segment? I mean, it's part of the show.
Yeah.
So then I don't really know much about the subject. So I went on Reddit or in the Pat's Pulpit,
right,
and all those different sports things, and I copied and pasted the same talking points that he's bringing up anyway.
Right.
And then I just reiterate them in a loud, yelling manner.
Well, maybe it's the manner that's the problem, as opposed to the actual point you're making. Maybe that is where people are getting stuck.
Maybe I just need to do a different voice. You know?
Yeah.
So if I do that thing about Drake May, like RF, hey, doing sport, the kid showed up big.
Yeah,
he
that
delivered a game-winning drive, made clutch throws under pressure, and outdueled Josh Allen in the spotlight. It performances like that which makes you believe this rebuild might actually be something.
Yeah, that won't be annoying at all. At all. People will totally love that.
Hey, here's another one. Go, Steve, go.
Yes.
There
you
go. The brain dead trucker always supports the news, dude. See? It's a mixed bag.
There you go,
it's
Steve.
a mixed bag.
It's 7:31. News is next to Rock 102. 7:34 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. It's time for news brought to you by Gary Rome Hyundai. Technicians get up to a $5,000 sign-on bonus right now. Learn more at GaryRomeHyundai.com/family. Here's local radio icon Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bax. Connecticut State Police are investigating after a pedestrian was struck and killed in Windsor on Saturday by a Springfield driver. State Police said that the incident occurred at approximately 7:04 p.m. on Saturday. Investigation revealed that a pedestrian was standing in the left shoulder of I-91 North, south of exit 40 in Windsor after being involved in a prior traffic crash. The pedestrian allegedly walked into the travel lane for an unknown reason and then was struck by a vehicle. The vehicle and the pedestrian both came to a stop at the left shoulder. The driver and the passenger, both of Springfield, had no reported injuries. The pedestrian, identified as 30-year-old Santiago Jimenez of Meriden, was brought to Hartford Hospital, where he died shortly after. The Connecticut State Police is investigating the collision. They're asking anyone who may have had captured dash cam footage of the incident to submit that to police. You know, yesterday I'm on 91 South where was I? When you get on from Holyoke, from the mall exit,
Yeah.
when you get on, and then there's that short distance to the Mass Pike entrance ramp, there was a lady, like, on the side of the road.
Out of her car?
There was no car. It was just lady walking, and I was looking for a car, and it's like, that is not a crosswalk. I just wanted to throw that out there as a public service announcement that even the breakdown lane is not considered a crosswalk.
You are correct about that.
Yeah.
That is not, in fact, a crosswalk. In fact, I believe it is no place at all for pedestrians.
And where do you put the Easy Pass thing on your head because obviously she was headed towards the Pike. So where do you put the Easy Pass? Do you staple it to your forehead?
I think if you can have it hang over like your fanny pack or a bag or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll still. I mean, I don't know if they'll actually charge you for walking underneath one of them gantries, but who knows?
Well, I mean, it's got to go off. Don't they take a picture of your rear end and then send it to you in the mail when you went through without the Easy Pass?
Yeah, well, yeah.
I believe these Jordache jeans belong to you, ma'am.
Unless she's got plates in the back of those jeans, I don't think they're going to find her.
The West Springfield Police Department is seeking the public's help into helping find the owner of an abandoned dog near the 300 block of Lancaster Avenue on Saturday. The dog, whose owner remains unidentified, was discovered over the weekend, and they are urging anyone with information to contact them directly. The police have provided a contact number for tips and information, encouraging residents to call the police department if they have any leads regarding the dog's owner. It would leave a perfectly good dog.
Some people do. And you know what? If you don't want the dog, it's so much easier to just drop them off at TJO where someone may adopt them, give them a good home, as opposed to just abandoning a dog. And
I believe the TJO is one of those no questions asked thing, isn't it? Can you just
go and
surrender an animal and say, hey, I can't take care of this anymore. I don't have the money to do that.
The dog is a jerk. It can be any number of reasons. But, yeah, I don't think they ask a hell of a lot of questions.
Well, my dog's kind of a jerk, but I wouldn't give him up.
No, of course you wouldn't. You love your dog, jerk or not.
You know he's eating vegetables now, which is like it's almost like when they transition from child to adult. Now he's like more sophisticated, and he ate an entire potato yesterday.
Cooked?
Uncooked.
Yeah.
He was
butter, sour cream.
Gnawed at it for about 20 minutes, got the whole thing destroyed, and then boom, it was done.
Man, that's hard to eat raw potato.
It's a dog. He eats his own vomit. What's the difference of eating a raw potato versus your own?
It's a texture thing, really. I mean, it's hard to get in there, and I don't ever have like a piece of raw potato. It doesn't taste that great.
It does, but to you it doesn't. But I think to a dog, I don't think the dog really cares. I think the dog just is like, whatever, it's food.
I guess.
Edible. He eats carrots.
But yet,
now.
My dog. So my dog's gotten spoiled. Remember I told you that we had to take our dog to the animal hospital a couple months ago because he was anemic?
Yeah.
Well, the vet said, are you feeding him, canned food along with his dry food? We're like, well, not really. He said, well, I want you to add some. So we've been adding canned food. If I put in his bowl a bunch of dry food, he won't touch it unless I put a little canned food in there. So now he's got a sophisticated palate. So now it's got to be all about him. So now I got to get the dry food and the wet food, mix it all up together. And otherwise, he'll just walk past it like, I can't believe you're serving me the slop again.
This is disgusting. I can't believe you would even put this in front of my face.
Right. And he's getting, premium dog food. He's not getting the cheap stuff. He's getting good, solid stuff a dog's supposed to love.
I don't know. I got Chinese food last night. He tried to get all of that. I ordered Chinese food because I was out late and I had to pick up something. So I got the golden peacock, Yeah.
You got the golden peacock?
Oh, I got the golden peacock.
Maybe you should see a specialist.
It's not peacock in Springfield. It's the golden peacock in Westfield.
Right. Two totally different ones. How did the dog hold the chopsticks?
He doesn't need chopsticks. He just opens his jaw and tries to grab whatever is freely available from the counter. So I had taken stuff out of the containers, put it into other dishes,
right?
To kind of make a little serving thing. And then what did he do? So I have the paper bag that the Chinese food came in, and then I take all the empty cartons and I throw it in the paper bag, going, I'll just throw this whole thing in the trash in a minute. Well, I walk away for 2 seconds, and who grabs the bag?
The dog.
The dog. And, luckily enough, I was in close proximity where he.
You were able to stop him before he got away with it.
Before he did anything. But, man, unthankful. Such a thankless job being the owner of a pet like that.
You know what? That is so true. How does a dog thank you?
He doesn't.
Doesn't really thank you at all.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he'll lick your face, but his face just came out of the toilet seconds before that.
You got one of those things. It's a thing for the dog, where you record your own voice on it, and then the dog can hit the button.
Yeah,
I have to make a video about that because mine says penis every time he does it.
That'd be hilarious.
But you can't get him to actually push the button. I have to actually hold his paw and then push the button.
Well, that kind of defeats the purpose.
Well, you can't.
What an untrained animal that is.
He doesn't know any better. One person has been arrested and a second suspect has been identified after the theft of a donation box in Springfield. According to spokesman Ryan Walls, he said, my best friend's sister's boyfriend's girlfriend heard from this guy who's dating this girl that a woman stole from a donation box at the city library branch on State Street. I guess it's pretty serious. 2 suspects allegedly cut the lock of a donation box in the library and reportedly also did the same thing at the Springfield Museums on Edward Street. As security guards tried to stop the suspects, one of them, identified as 33-year-old Carly Bond of Hamden, allegedly punched a security guard in the face. Police arrived, placed her under arrest, and recovered over $500 in donations. She's facing charges including 2 counts of breaking into a depository, possession of burglarious instruments, assault and battery, and larceny under $1,200. She's a fine gal, though.
She's a little hellcat's what she is.
Yeah, we all have bad days. Walsh added that the second suspect was also seen in the surveillance video, was able to get away. On Friday, a photo of that suspect was released by investigators, and by late Friday morning, he said the suspect had been identified and the previous released photo was withdrawn for investigatory purposes. Additional information about that suspect, including their identity or charges, was not immediately available. Anyone with any information about this whole thing is asked to call the Springfield police.
Maybe there should be other ways of making your donation then. Like a Venmo or something more electronic so that it can't be just stolen out of a box.
Maybe the box was full.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously there's got to be something inside worth pilfering through. I'm just saying that maybe there's in order for these things to be more protected, maybe people should be donating in other ways. That's all.
There's plenty of different ways to go about your donating.
Of course.
Follow the QR code.
That's a perfectly good option.
Do you put up a QR code to send bail money?
I wouldn't be surprised if QR codes are being used somewhere in this country.
A firefighter was accused of stalking after she allegedly dumped 75 possibly used tampons on her ex-boyfriend's lawn when she learned that he was dating a new woman. The Volusia County Sheriff's Office, this is Florida, of course, was contacted by a woman on September 30th after she and her boyfriend woke up to find a pile of tampons on their front lawn that were visibly stained. According to a probable cause arrest affidavit obtained by Law and Crime, police reviewed security camera recordings that showed a pickup truck driving past their house around 10 p.m. on September 29th. A woman allegedly sat in the truck bed until traffic cleared, at which point she jumped out and threw 75 tampons on the front yard. When the couple was asked who they believed was behind the crime, they reportedly both pointed the finger at Gabrielle Franz, a firefighter with Orange County Rescue, and the ex-girlfriend of the man living in the home. They said it was likely her demonstrating she was unhappy that her ex-boyfriend was dating a new person. They claim she previously made social media posts talking badly about them and the fact that they are now together.
Can I just make like a suggestion for people who are going through these kinds of hard breakups? Mm-hmm. If your boyfriend has left you, okay, and this action is the first thing on your mind, that this is what I'm going to do to exact my revenge, maybe, just maybe, that kind of attitude is the reason he started seeing other people to begin with.
Perhaps.
That kind of anger and hostility and that the self-absorption that you're kind of dealing with, maybe that's the reason he's just not that into you.
When police confronted Franz at her home, she initially said that she didn't know where her ex lived. Oh, you don't know where your ex-boyfriend is who you've dated for 4 years?
Mm-hmm.
But eventually,
so that's why you left all those things in the lawn with all that DNA evidence all over it?
Right. But eventually admitted to committing the act and said it was not her idea, instead placing the blame on her mother and aunt who came from out of town. Oh, her Aunt Flo was visiting from out of town, and they pulled some strings and they dumped tampons on this guy's front lawn.
Yes.
It's totally plausible. Totally plausible. She said that while the pair were in town, all three of them purchased tampons and painted them red to look like they had been used. Then the trio drove by the ex-boyfriend's house and dumped the tampons, per the report.
If you were dating a woman who showed this kind of anger and search for revenge, and her mother and aunt were all kind of in cahoots in this kind of thing, like this is a pattern of family behavior, maybe that is a part of the building blocks of why he is not that into you.
It could be.
Again,
could be an indication of that, but it could also be maybe he misses me so much he wants just a little reminder of who I am.
If he has left you and these are your choices in life, perhaps you're both better off without each other.
And again, I will say this again, just like that lady from the Unknown Number documentary. At least they're spending time with their children.
And yes, thank God that that's happening. But nevertheless,
you can call somebody a horrible mother all you want, but remember, they're spending quality time with their child.
And I can understand how nice it is to have families do arts and craft projects in the house. But spreading them over a boyfriend's front lawn, whether or not you're still together, I think is probably indicative that there may be some anger management issues afoot in that family.
Listen, honey, I made a diarrhea diorama for your dad when he left me. We can do other kinds of projects. Do you have any paper mache? Maybe some tampons, some Playtex?
All I got is the materials for decoupage.
It's okay, honey. We're going to get through this together.
With decoupage and anger.
Decoupage. You're Pioneer Valley Forecast.
Otherwise, it's wire art and scrimshaw. I hope you're prepared.
Get some of those red Sharpies while you're at the store to make it look like we actually use these things.
Because, me and your aunt are past that time.
Yeah. We passed that long ago, honey.
We're in menopause, where you are in between pause between men.
Yes. I wake up sweating. I wake up freezing. I wake up all kinds of ways.
But most of all, I wake up wanting revenge.
And that's right. And that's why we're going to take as if we used all of these and dump them on your ex-boyfriend's front lawn.
Your Pioneer Valley forecast today going to be sunny with a high of 82. It is 59 in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102.
John Hazen here.
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 7:55, and Billy Idol with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
The weather. Sunny, 82, 59 right now in downtown Springfield. I know you got something to give away.
Well, we don't have a lot of time here, so do you realize what today is?
It's Monday.
Yes, but it's more than just a Monday.
Is it an autumn mist Monday?
Get out of my head, Steve.
Oh, man, I used to love that
car.
song from the Bangles.
Yeah, no, that's
Autumn Mist, just another Autumn Mist Monday.
Yeah, well, guess what? We happen to have a $25 gift card to Autumn Mist Farm.
Shut the front door, Bax.
It's the truth, Steve. From farm to table, you can't beat their meat. No more construction. The road is back open. So if you're looking to get a couple of home wrecker hot dogs or like a big slab of beef, that's the place to go.
I was joking. You can't shut the front door here. It's broken. Just like everything else.
It's got like one hinge and it's rusted out and all that and what have you.
You know, do you see what's being dangled out in the parking lot? A sign of hope. It's on like a stick with a fishing line. It says hope on it, and that's us hoping we get a new building.
Well, you never know.
Yeah, dreams can come true.
Yeah, that's what they tell you.
That's right.
10th caller right now, 293-1021. $25 gift card to Autumn Mist Farm on an Autumn Mist Monday on Rock 102.
Just another Autumn Mist Monday.
Just another Autumn Mist Monday.
That's right.
Bax and Nagle at Rock 102.
And now, Bax's View from the Couch. Brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware, your grilling destination. Weber, Big Green Egg, Uni Pizza Ovens, and Traeger Woodfire Grills.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Well, that was somewhat unexpected. Last night, despite nearly every football expert in the country predicting otherwise, the Patriots marched into hostile Buffalo territory and got 71,000 people at Highmark Stadium to finally shut their hell up and walk back to their car in disbelief. Disbelief that they just lost to the New England Patriots on a Sunday night on national TV in front of everybody in the country to come from behind victory with a final score of 23-20. Exciting stuff, huh? Not if you're a fan of the Buffalo Bills, it wasn't. Instead, you saw an underrated team bristling with youth and exuberance, completely forgetting that Buffalo was a 7.5-point favorite to win at home. Instead, Josh Allen and the Bills were watching it all slip away with sloppy turnovers and penalties, which allowed the Patriots to seal the deal with an Andy Morrigan's 52-yard field goal with 12 seconds left to play. Stephon Diggs coming back to Buffalo in a Patriots uniform, 10 catches, 146 yards. And what about that kid Drake May, completing 22 passes for 273 yards? That puts the season yardage total at 1,261 yards, good for 5th in the NFL. That's a full 3 slots up from Josh Allen of the Bills, who, I would remind everybody, was supposed to crush the Patriots last night by 7.5, but did not. Now, next week on the NFL's easiest schedule, the Patriots will face the 1-4 New Orleans Saints at the Superdome. Now, while the Patriots have won back-to-back games for the first time since Drake May's young career began, the Saints are coming off their first win of the entire season, having soundly beat the only team that might be worse than they are, the New York Giants. How they're going to fare facing the recently sprung juggernaut of the New England Patriots is anybody's guess. All I can tell you is, if you're looking to lose money, bet on the Saints. But if you're hoping not to look like the biggest dope in the history of legal sports gambling, I say take the Patriots and the points, whatever they might be. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. Clark and Kensington may not be the most famous house paint in the world, but it's highly rated. You could say Clark and Kensington paint punches above its weight, way above. And you can save $10 a gallon right now at Rocky's and Clark and Kensington paint, interior or exterior. And you can find it at your neighborhood Rocky's Ace Hardware. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch.
Rock 102. Springfield's classic.
Springfield's classic rock. It's 8:11 and Thin Lizzy with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It's going to be sunny today with a high of 82. Tomorrow, cloudy with a high of 80. It is 59 right now in downtown Springfield. Kind of weird weather we've been having, like summer-like weather.
Yesterday, it was such a beautiful day that, and you know, this whole weekend was like jammed with stuff. Like a super busy weekend. And we thought, you know what? Let's go to the beach and enjoy such a beautiful...
Let's go to the beach. Let's go get away.
So we did. We went to the beach yesterday.
Yeah.
And even though you'd think, well, it's October, actually went in the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice. And you enjoyed your day.
I enjoyed the day. Came back. Had a wonderful weekend.
Saturday. Obviously we did the roast on Saturday night, but my day was packed. Saturday, I had to. I volunteered. I didn't have to, but I volunteered to do the color run in Suffield.
Oh yeah,
for the PTA down there, and that was actually very cool. I had only seen pictures of people being covered in the powder and all that stuff, and I really didn't understand how it worked.
Right.
And they basically had a group of about 200 kids, kids and parents come out to this thing, and they have all these. I still don't understand how this is not dangerous. It's powder.
Yeah.
That you're, and the big rule is don't throw it in anybody's face. You have to throw it up in the air.
Sure.
But I can't imagine, like, the dust was all over my equipment. And I was, like, a good probably 100 feet away from where the actual thing started from.
Sure.
And as these kids are running around the track, there's people throwing this powder up in the air. So all these kids are getting blotched with rainbow colors and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like, how if this silt is over my stuff and I'm this far away, the stuff on you must be getting in your lungs somehow. Like as you're
Well, if you find, you're getting over a sinus infection, right?
Yeah.
All right. So let's say you were still in the midst of a sinus infection and you suddenly sneezed.
Yeah.
The rainbow.
Yeah.
Now you know it's inside of you.
Yeah, it's the rainbow of fruit flavor.
Exactly. Look like you're blowing your nose full of Skittles.
Yeah, it was just I don't know. I know, we had that jokey conversation about big powder. Doesn't want you to know what's in the chemicals.
Right, of course.
But it's just, I'm just watching people breathe this stuff in, and I'm like, that's got to be like detrimental to your health.
But it's for fun and charity, right?
Yeah, and that's all that really matters.
That's all that really matters.
And speaking of which, fun and charity, and we were talking about him last week, Boomer from the Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, congrats on the win yesterday for the
that's right.
Thunderbirds.
Beat Providence.
OT win.
Nice.
Which is nice. But Boomer, this guy is everywhere. And it's like you talk about somebody who dedicates themselves to a job and not just dedicates and shows up in a uniform. Like anybody can put a suit on and go make an appearance. We're playing Thunderstruck, and I got a video of him. He's dancing. He's really getting into it. And and it's like that's some good quality mascot right there. I have to praise Boomer. For his antics.
No, I don't know if you were aware of this. There's a guy inside that suit.
What?
Yes. Anyway, there are very few people with that much enthusiasm for what he does. I don't have that kind of enthusiasm for what I do. This guy, he loves this stuff. Yeah. And he loves hockey. And he loves, shaking hands with the kids and entertaining and being a brilliant ambassador for that team. Well, I think that guy does a tremendous job, and he knows who I'm talking about.
He deserves a raise.
You know what?
Yeah,
You're
does.
right.
He absolutely does.
He needs a few more eggs in the checking account, if you know what I'm talking about.
And one of the things was, though, make sure you take your picture with Boomer before the race starts, because Boomer is not allowed to get any of that powder stuff on the suit, because it's a cleaning bill. It must be ridiculous.
It's impossible to clean that. So you get that. You'll have that stuff in you all season long.
Yeah. Well, couldn't he just show up to the game wearing all rainbow colors and go, I was just at a color run?
No, you can't. You can't even do that.
Can't do that.
No, of course not.
But then, so I did that, and then I went over to the Elks Club on Saturday to set everything up with the rest of the folks that were part of that crew over there.
Right.
And that took a while. And then I had to.
Oh, wasn't there a comedy show there the night before?
No, there wasn't.
Oh.
I guess
there was.
We could have done it Friday night, but I didn't have time.
I understand.
So, we set all that up, and then I had to go home, dress, eat something, and come back, and we were back at it again. I didn't get home until like almost midnight on Saturday, which was crazy.
I had a big night on Friday. Went to the Thomas Walsh show at Vanish
Tom
Valley.
Petty show. Yeah.
No, not Tom Petty. Yeah. In fact, he didn't do any Tom Petty songs. He did mostly his own, and any covers he did had nothing to do with Tom Petty. But I will say this: I got to give two things. First of all, I want to say good job by Raspberries Records for putting that on. That was really, really cool. Really cool event. The other thing is, I had never been in the brewery part at Vanish Valley.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Mike Rodriguez has done a great job over there because, I mean, they had a band playing outside in the tent.
Yeah.
And then they had the Thomas show inside the actual brewery section. So you're surrounded by the big
vats.
Vats and everything.
Yeah.
And then you had the restaurant operating all at the same time, and there were tons of people there. It was really cool. I give Vanish Valley a lot of credit. They've done an excellent job.
Back to the days of Europa, when they were over in Hadley or South Hadley,
but even the space is that now.
Then when they moved, was it called? It was called something else before it was Vanish Valley.
It was Europa.
It was Europa. It was still Europa.
Still Europa.
But was it like the Black Rock Grill or something?
It was the Europa Black Rock Grill.
The Europa Black Rock Grill.
Yeah.
Okay. That space is amazing in there, and the way that it's transformed over the years since they bought that place, it's been like 15 years now, I think.
Yeah, now it's
Been
unbelievable.
over there. And, what a great venue. We have the Rick's Place event outside in there, but there's so much more space, like you just said, inside in the brewery and then upstairs in the restaurant. It's a pretty cool place.
I've been in the restaurant a number of times.
Food is good, too.
Yeah, I know. It's really good. I've been in the restaurant a number of times and always had a real nice time. But I haven't been down to those other spaces because usually try to park as close to the front door on top of the hill as I can. But, no, I was very, very impressed. It's a great place to have an event.
That's where I had my famous picture taken years ago where I was Dick Nagle.
Oh, that's
when
right.
A guy came,
yes.
it was some kind of a brew tasting event that they were having going on there, a food tasting event they were having going on there. And
that's where you kind of like dipped your toe into that thing for the very first time.
That was like
Dick Nagle. That was one of the very first ones.
8 years ago. Can you imagine that?
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Seems like it's longer than that.
8 years ago, and that's when I first fooled Mass Live for the first time, and then
it only took 15 times before they figured it out.
It was 8 times after that. And then whenever I'd see, I think it's Don Trigger. Right? The guy with the beard and the glasses, right? That guy, right? Every time I'd see him, you SOB. If you hadn't put it up on Facebook this morning, I wouldn't have caught it, and it would have went to print. I should have let it go to print. That was the one where I was at the ball and I was Barry McOckener. And it's like, how many times can you fool somebody? Like nobody catches on.
The funny part about it is it was often the same photographers time after time. It was like the same one or two or maybe 3 people that were taking your picture. And every single time your name was different and they never figured it out.
Well, it was
on their own.
I guess his name is Dick Nagle today. Or I guess his name is Barry. I guess his name is
Gazinia.
Gazinia, yeah. It was Dick Gazinia. Yeah. You know the Gazinia family.
Oh, I sure do.
Yeah, Big Dick and Little Dick.
Oh,
and,
I know
all those guys.
We go back.
But, I successfully fooled them, I think it was about 8 times with different various photo shoots throughout the area. I'm pretty proud of that.
Yeah.
I think, if I die tomorrow, that was my greatest accomplishment, was fooling Mass Live.
Right.
There was a lady for the Country Journal in Huntington. She's no longer with us, sadly. She passed away.
Uh-huh.
But she was one of these people who, you send an old lady out there, it's a sweet little old lady writing the stories and stuff, but she had a problem remembering.
Right.
And even though you'd see her every week, she'd still forget your name. So I would constantly do that, and then my picture would wind up in the Country Journal.
And they probably don't go to you for stories anymore, do they?
No. Here's Ben Dover from Huntington.
Right.
He's like, I didn't realize his name was Ben.
You're right. Richard Hertz from Holden. That's right. Yeah, I know that one.
But if anybody's put my name in the paper this weekend, it's what was that guy? What did he say on Open Lines? I can't remember what he said.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Funny,
yeah, it was funny. But the final part we're trying to talk about is, we had a lot of great events this weekend. Thanks to the Elks that did a great job. The Chicopee Police Association, that was a great event. Thanks to everybody that showed up there on Saturday night. Great time at Vanish Valley on Friday, and we appreciate everybody coming out to all those things.
What's your weekend looking like this weekend?
Yeah.
I don't know. What is it looking like this weekend?
I'm probably going to go visit my folks.
Oh,
yeah.
Your parents.
Yes.
God,
I know.
A long weekend?
Not long for us.
Yeah.
It's going to be like, one night stay. And
Maybe
that'll be
I'll take Monday off for my birthday.
Talk to the boss.
I don't need to talk to the boss. I am the boss.
Yeah. I am the danger. I am the one who knocks.
Yes.
Yeah, that's you.
I am the know-all, be-all. I am the Scott Cohen sports equivalent of management here at Rock 102.
It's just about 8:23 on Rock 102. 26 of Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
By the way, the name that guy used last week, he texted in on the Route 10 Tire listener line. Last week I was Willie Porker. Forgot about that one. He comes up with really good ones.
He really does.
Week. The whole thing we just talked about on Saturday night. Very successful event. I think John was actually happy for once. I've seen him.
He
sort of happy.
He was very, very pleased.
Yeah, which is weird.
I know.
A guy like that.
I know.
Pleased with something. A couple of different things. Last week, obviously the show was sold out like almost immediately. Like there was no like even leg room for, letting people in or, there was none of that kind of thing. And I went on the air last week with you and I said, and I was being the pessimistic person that he was, going, oh God, why would anybody want to come to something like this? That kind of talk.
Right.
And some guy on Facebook, a woman posted something, hey, what a nice tribute to John over the weekend, yada, yada, yada. And then I see this guy's comments going, oh, man, I heard Nagle last week, and he was so negative about the event. It's like, why would you even go? Why would you even sign up to do something like that? And then he goes on to say, I've heard from others that he doesn't get along with him. Right? I just commented, I'd like to consult with these others you speak of to make sure we get our facts straight about the story. And it's like, I really have a hard time calling some of these people listeners. Because if you listen to this show and you listen to the previous show that this was, well, not the previous show.
Yeah, right.
You would know that that's the joke. That's the inside joke that we have,
right,
is that we are salty and negative on purpose because it's entertainment.
Believe me, we understand and embrace our magnificence privately. But I mean, when it comes to being on the air, we are self-effacing because that's what we do. If not self-effacing our own situations, we are more than happy to bust the stones of others.
I will now shift, though, to complain about the real thing that had bothered me all the way up to that event and now the aftermath of that event.
And that is?
The group text message of... Here's the problem. Leading up to the event, there was like 3 different group text messages going. One from Barry, one from Tim Rook, and then one from this Jennifer, who's a friend of John's. And then other people. There are multiple layers of group text, which all could have been done on one group text.
But it was done on 3.
But it was done on 3 separate ones, and that's why information was crossing with itself, because we're not all on the same thread. And I figured once Saturday night was over, great. This was fantastic. No more dealing with the group text message. And then Saturday night at like 11:30 at night, there's a group text message with like 3 people I know and 1 person I don't recognize a number.
Right.
And it was congratulating everybody on doing some. John's on the great job, everyone. And then I just responded, well, thank you all so much for coming to my comedy show. I know I did a great job, right? But then there was another group text about how much they raised and how much money they raised. And they raised over $10,000 for the Chop of the Cop event, which is awesome. But this doesn't need to be on multiple threads. Why can't we? This is the boomer group text messages. This is what's going on here. You got multiple messages
Yeah.
that don't need to be multiple groups. It should be just one thread.
Is it? Let me ask you a question because
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of going with something here in my head.
Yeah.
If it were all of these threads initiated by the same person,
No,
okay,
but
yes,
somebody could have taken the reins, and wasn't the one in charge of it.
I know you weren't.
So-
I know because you wouldn't have started a group test.
I was
test.
just in charge of the entertainment portion of the show.
because I'm saying this
Yeah.
because this sounds like the work of Tim Rook.
He is mainly the problem. And he has been a thorn in the side of this community for the last 40 years.
Anyone who has spent any time, real substantial time with Tim Rook knows that at some point it's all his fault.
It's always going to be his fault. And I even said when I introduced him, he was a former city councilor. He sells weed. I think he might be part of an organized crime group, to tell you the truth.
We have no way of knowing.
Yeah, and you need an idiot to be your front man for an organized crime group to go, it's all his fault.
What is the term? It was a convenient idiot. Is that what it was?
Convenient idiot. He's a convenient idiot.
But we mean that out of respect and love. Don't get us wrong.
That's right.
It's all right. It's 8:32 on Rock 8:35 at Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. It's time for news brought to you by Cluitz. Save big on all appliances every day at Cluitz. Here's local radio icon Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bax. 2 people died and a man was arrested after a rollover crash Friday night on Route 5 and 15 in Wethersfield on Friday, according to Connecticut State Police. The crash took place just before midnight in the area of Exit 85. Police said the vehicle veered from the left lane and struck a metal beam guardrail before rolling over and traveling down an embankment. A search of the wooded area discovered 2 occupants, identified as 25-year-old Joshua Gonzalez of Springfield and 21-year-old Edward Guzman of Chicopee, outside of the vehicle suffering from multiple life-threatening injuries. They were transported to the Hartford Hospital, where they later died. The operator of the vehicle, 22-year-old Alexis Garcia of Springfield, appeared to be under the influence and failed to perform a field sobriety test to standard. Garcia was charged with operating a motor vehicle under the influence of alcohol or drugs. He was held on $250,000 bond and will appear in New Britain Superior Court today. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Connecticut State Police. Holyoke had Holyoke Mayor Josh Garcia. He has been named Mayor of the Year.
In Holyoke.
No, by the Northeast Renewable Energy Coalition for his efforts in leading clean energy initiatives in the city.
Huh.
What about that National Pothole Registry? They recognizing him for the greatest mayor of the year yet?
Listen, no mayor can solve every problem in town. Of the problems he does tackle, he does a fine job with it.
Speaking of which, that DPW guy that was from New Jersey,
Yeah.
after that whole debacle back in February, he quietly went away. And now they have an interim director since March.
What's that all about?
I think people were catching on to the fact is, why are we paying this guy to commute from New Jersey once a month to come up here and look at all the potholes that we have instead of actually having somebody here who can direct people to fix them?
Interesting.
Anyway, Mayor Garcia was presented with the award by Lieutenant Governor Kim Driscoll at the Coalition's annual awards gala on Friday. The recognition is significant in celebrating Holyoke's advancements in sustainable innovation.
Okay. You sure he's just not the mayor of the year in Holyoke? I know there's only like one guy who's doing it, but I mean, mayor of the year just in Holyoke?
Maybe.
I mean, that makes the most amount of sense to me.
Garcia said Holyoke was once known as the paper city, but now we're the innovation city.
What happened to all that paper?
That's like somebody saying, yes, my name is Willie Porker. We all know that you have a real name going on.
Sure.
Holyoke Gas and Electric also received the Utility of the Year award at the gala for its success in providing low-cost energy sourced from the Connecticut River to clean tech industries. You'll never see Eversource get that one.
Perhaps not, no.
No. So congratulations to Holyoke Mayor Josh Garcia.
That's
for being
terrific.
the Mayor of the Year.
That is fantastic. What does he get as a prize?
He gets the key to the city.
Does he already have a set of keys?
He gets a second key to the city.
He gets a spare key.
He gets a free gift certificate to serve you to go over and get new locks put on the doors at City Hall.
Wouldn't it be interesting if you found that he hides that key under the welcome mat in Holyoke?
There is no welcome mat in Holyoke. That's the joke, Bax. Good job.
I don't know.
Delivering that one. As the weather gets colder and the leaves begin to change.
And Leon gets larger.
The month of October brings a variety of exciting fall festivals to Western Massachusetts for the season. While the Big E has ended, attracting thousands to the region every year, not as many thousands as there once was, more upcoming events welcome the arrival of autumn. Coming up on October 10th, it's the Fall Public Safety Festival in Greenfield. Over 75 law enforcement agencies will gather at the Franklin County Fairgrounds for this year's Public Safety Festival. Families are encouraged to watch safety demonstrations while enjoying music, games, and food trucks. Attendees of all ages are also invited to participate in the costume contest. The Indian Orchard Food Truck Festival is also on the 10th. That sounds fun.
That does sound fun.
The Sweetwood Fall Festival in Williamstown. Or the Berkshire Botanical Gardens Harvest Festival. Actually, I've been to that one. That's pretty good.
Is it really?
I only went there hoping to see James Taylor walking around.
Yeah, was he?
You ever want to watch James Taylor at a flea market? What does he buy?
Trying to haggle over some piece of junk for like $10.
Yeah, what about this one? This is a CD from James Taylor. It's my greatest hits.
Does he sing "You Got a Deal" rather than "You Got a Friend"?
I think that's what it is. He changes all of his songs.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. At the Ashfield Fall Festival, the Granville Harvest Fair, the Paradise City Arts Festival.
Well, you need to take me down to the Paradise City.
Where the grass is green and the girls are wearing flannel shirts and boots? I'll take you there.
Take me down to the Paradise City where the flannel shirts are as green as pretty.
Oh, won't you please take me home?
Loading up the Subaru with the softball equipment and driving on down to the Paradise City.
See, that sounds like fun to me.
It does.
That sounds like fun.
It does. Get your Birkenstocks and your Indigo girls. We're going to the Paradise City. There's a Harvest Fest in East Hampton on the 12th, and the Harvest Festival in Agawam on the 18th, and West Hampton's got a fall festival, Pumpkin Fest in Westfield. There are so many different places that you can enjoy fall.
Well,
pumpkin spice.
You know, Steve, the thing is, fall is the most beautiful time of the year here in New England. I mean, you drive around, you look at all the foliage, and it takes your breath away. That's mostly because of the hay fever season. I know that I wheeze my way through.
Yeah, it's probably also from the air pollution coming through.
Well, there's that too.
Through that too. But it's a good time of year.
It's a terrific time of the year.
Now, next weekend is the peak for the leaf peeping.
Yes, I can't wait.
You want to peep your leaves? Next weekend is the peeping time.
So if you're a peeping Tom, is that the time of year you get out there?
Yeah, I believe that is. Peeping Tom on Mount Tom. You can go up there.
You'll find a lot of peeping up there.
Let's see. Let's see. You want to hear about too much THC in marijuana?
Sure.
Out of Canada, a pair of cannabis products sold in several provinces have been recalled due to inaccurate levels of THC, the main psychoactive compound in cannabis listed on the packaging. According to the Health Canada recall alert, packages of winter mint chillos and cinnamon chillos extract contain higher THC levels than what is stated on the pouch's label. Oh, no. What will I do with all of this THC that I've got I got extra for a low price?
I didn't want to get this high.
Yeah. The alert warns that pouches in which the product sold contain over 10 milligrams of THC, and there are significant unit-to-unit variability of THC levels between pouches.
Steve, you ever got so high you went unit to unit?
Oh, I've been unit to unit. I wasn't even high for that. I've just gone unit to unit.
Yeah. All right.
You don't need a bong to do that.
No, you don't, I guess.
Symptoms of too much THC include confusion, disorganized thinking, physical and mental impairment, anxiety,
Hours around a PlayStation.
for fear or panic,
Munchies.
decreased blood pressure, elevated heart rate. Where's the danger in all of this?
Where's the bad part?
Yeah.
Could you get to the bad part, please?
In remote cases, depending on the individual dose of THC consumed, overdose can result in psychotic episodes characterized by paranoia, delusion, or hallucinations. These effects could, in some cases, lead to an emergency department visit or hospitalization. Here's the one thing that won't happen: you won't die.
You'll be fine.
You'll just be in fear for several hours until you finally start coming down from it.
Yeah, it'll only feel like a heart attack for one night.
You just got to keep saying, this is only temporary.
It was only temporary, followed up by, why did I do this?
Why did I do this at all? I remember watching that video of there was a couple of instances. There was two guys trafficking marijuana across the country who decided to consume some of the edibles that they had trafficking. Mm-hmm. And they got so paranoid, they thought somebody was watching them in a parking lot and then called police on themselves saying, listen, we're ready to give ourselves up. You don't need to have this guy tailgating us or whatever. Turns out it wasn't anybody tailgating them, but they called the police on themselves and then got arrested for trafficking all the marijuana that they were doing.
Steve, I may be a little unclear here, but did you just describe the entire plot line of Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke?
Well, this was a real thing that happened, right?
We weren't driving around with a big joint on the top of their car.
Yeah. And then there was another one where these cops. It was like a guy in a sheriff's office in Arizona.
Yeah.
And he wound up getting some brownies from somebody he had arrested.
Yes.
And he consumed the brownies with him and his friends, and he called 911 to say, I think we're dead. Could you please send help?
Yeah.
So it's not about, the danger is getting yourself in trouble for doing whatever nefarious thing you're doing.
Have you noticed that since the legalization of recreational marijuana, that whenever you're at a party, and there's like food at the table.
Yeah.
And someone has brought brownies or something like that everyone has to ask first.
Yeah.
Are these brownies?
Yeah.
Or are these pot brownies?
I bet you that was a big question at the Tom Petty show you went to Friday night.
There were no brownies I take that back. There were brownies, a little pre-party that we went to, but none of them.
None actual being served there.
No pot brownies that I was aware of.
The off-site pre-party.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not pre-party.
And how many brownies did you eat?
I only ate one.
Yeah,
only one.
Were you chilled out for the rest of the night?
I was chilled out, but not because of the THC that was inside.
Bax sounds like he puts ketchup on his pumpkin spice. Calm down.
What?
I don't know. Did you?
What did I do?
I don't know. I'm just reading random texts.
These people.
These people. I know. You ask an audience to participate, and this is what you get.
I didn't ask anything from you, people.
Your Pioneer Valley forecast today: sunny with a high of 82. It is 62 right now in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102. Ah, yeah.
In the market.
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 8:55, and Motley Crue with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
We should have played the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Give It Away, because we're giving away stuff all morning long.
Yes.
You have that song?
Not handy, Steve. I don't have that right at the tip of my fingers because I wasn't planning on it. But yeah, you're right. We are giving more stuff away.
All right. I was going to try to pull the song up, but I'll pull this one up instead. You ready?
Yep.
How about this one? This is Give It Away by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, isn't it?
Yeah, it's our third contest of the day.
Come and knock on our door. Come and knock on our door. We've been waiting for you.
We've been waiting for you.
Where the kisses are hers and his. Three's company too. Come and dance on our floor.
Come and dance on our floor.
Take a step that is new.
Take a step that is new.
With a lovable face that needs your place. Three's company too. Blah, 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 blah.
another blah, 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 blah. Three's Company too.
Perfect intro to give us something away right now.
Yes, you should know that the Muddy Oktoberfest is coming back to the 4th Street at the Student Prince Friday and Saturday. I'm going to be there on Friday night from 5 to 7. Of course, the Muddy Oktoberfest goes throughout the weekend. We'll be tapping the keg Friday, all that other stuff, plus a lot of great music and authentic German beers, the brats, the steins of beer. I can't tell you how much fun it is because the fun is virtually endless. However, I happen to have a 4-pack of tickets to the Oktoberfest at 4th Street Friday and Saturday. 10th caller right now, 293-1021, will get a chance to go enjoy themselves in a big, big way.
Sweet. You're gonna have to wait a second before we do it because I want to talk about something.
Okay, sure.
The Three's Company thing. You know how I'm on that Three's Company thing?
Yeah.
I was thinking about, and I know it's not an original concept, but I wanted to do, because we have to do all these stupid videos, I wanted to do like that document. I watched this great documentary, but I want to say a true crime documentary because that's how I feel Three's Company is. It's a true crime documentary.
Yeah.
It's these two young women, probably in their 20s, living it up in this apartment building. They have this big party one night. They black out drunk.
Right.
They wake up the next day. Mm-hmm. They're trying to clean up everything. Mm-hmm. And there's a man in the shower. And this guy, rather than be scared and run away, they talk to this man. And this man, through talking and his suave, way of manipulating people,
right,
convinces these two women that he should also live in this apartment as well.
Yes, but their roommate had just left.
Right.
Leaving them with an open room
I know,
in their apartment.
But I know it's an opportunity. But there was no vetting of this guy. He says he's in the Navy, says he's going to go to cooking school, and they're like, oh, they believe every bit. This is how the murders happen. Now, the landlord and his wife, who live downstairs, he's not going to let a guy live in this apartment with two women. So they concoct this scheme to pretend this man is gay.
Yeah.
In order for him to be accepted by the landlord, because the landlord has standards, and he's like, he doesn't like gay people either, but he also is okay with it. Wow, he's gay. There's no hanky-panky going on upstairs. But he's onto something. He knows
something stinks.
That there's something weird, and he's always suspecting something.
You know, Steve, now that you bring this up, there's only a fine line between Jack the Ripper and Jack the Tripper.
This is what I'm talking about.
What's right there? The topic right there in front of your face.
How is nobody following this true crime docuseries that's on?
I don't know, Steve. You got me by the... you got me. I don't know. I don't have an answer.
It's crazy.
That sure is.
Now, wait till you hear about this other guy who's this white dude who takes in two young black kids into his penthouse apartment in New York City.
Like that'll ever happen.
But it did.
It's 9 o'clock on Rock 102.